Well, welcome to Stoic and Steel. Ed, the Beast, Beastin. We've been out working today, and I'm going to start with just a quick intro. You're 24 years old,
Yeah,
from the UK.
yeah.
What part?
I'm from Leicester, so the middle of the UK.
Okay. And you're a qualified farrier
I am.
through the Worshipful Company of Farriers, right?
Yep, exactly.
And you're here in the United States on an exchange program
Yes.
with the BFBA
Correct.
and the AFA.
Yep.
And anything else that you'd add on that?
Yeah, it's an exchange. It's quite accurate what you said so far, and I'm traveling around, meeting lots of different people, lots of like-minded people, and I'm learning, teaching, learning a lot, and it's great and a real experience. That's unique to the job.
Yeah, absolutely. What made you want to go on the work study?
What made me want to go on the work study? Well, I'd never left the UK for a long period of time other than to go on holiday for like a week or 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
when I was a kid, and I was just like fed up of seeing the same countryside and the same areas, and I wanted to see what else is there. And one of the benefits of this job is you can go pretty much wherever there's horses. There's going to be a farrier of some sort.
Absolutely. Yeah. I always see those jobs like on social media, the Indian type
Hmm.
work in Pakistan and stuff. It's
Oh yeah,
it's a bit rough, but
or in China with that donkey one. And
yeah,
yeah,
just straight down
yeah, that's
nipping.
it.
It would be
Give,
interesting to
give
see
it a go. Yeah.
with our education, the education that we've gone through.
Yes.
Yeah. How would somebody, if they're interested in the exchange,
Mhm.
how would they start that? Like, what was that process for you?
So that process for me was it was always talked about.
Yeah.
It's much one of those things where if you want it, you've got to look for it and get it because it filters through everyone that's just going to waste time and not do it. So my one of my teachers at college was talking about it, and I said, well, I'm interested because it's an experience where 20 years down the time, if I was given the opportunity and I denied it, I wouldn't be here. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be meeting all these people,
Yeah.
building a bigger network.
Yeah.
So I was basically, I contacted the BFBA. I said, look, I'm interested. The secretary sent me an application form and said, fill this out. So I filled it out, and then after a little while, I got a message. Well, I got another phone call saying we'd like to come for an interview. You to come for an interview. So I turned up for the interview, and then here we go.
Yeah. Financially, I would imagine that's a big worry for a lot of farriers that are interested in it.
Yes.
What does that bit look like?
It's difficult,
Yeah.
but I'm lucky in this stage in my life where I've got minimal dependencies.
Footloose and
I'm pretty,
fancy free.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
free, single,
Yeah.
nothing much to do.
Does the BFBA and the AFA pay out?
So,
Like, how does that
so
on
I've
tickets?
been very lucky. The BFBA, they pay for your flights, they organise to look after you, and then they got in contact with my insurance company. They're looking after my travel insurance and everything else free of charge.
Oh,
So
that's lovely.
I'm literally travelling over free. I've just got to represent the British Ferry the best way I can.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
how is that going to look like when it's all over?
To pay back,
Yeah.
basically, they want me to go and chat. So I'll go to the farriers. We do like what's the best way? Yeah. So West Stoneleigh is. They do a competition. We do a convention. So I need to do chats there.
Is that in conjunction with Stoneleigh?
Yeah.
And Stoneleigh is, how would you describe Stoneleigh?
It's a big international competition. It's our place. Basically, we call it Farrier Focus.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
yeah, it's a big convention. Loads of farriers from the UK go,
Yeah.
and at the same time, the international is being held whilst the convention. So there's loads of talks.
Yeah.
There's loads of stalls selling, bringing new products in, different companies doing deals, and it's all ran and organised by the BFBA.
So and with Stoneleigh, it's the way that I understand it, it's kind of like the Olympics of farriery in a way. I
Yes,
mean, minus
yes.
like the Workman Games or something of that
Yes,
nature, but
it's
a
one
team.
on the high end
Yeah.
thing because the amount of effort people go into just to even get into the team, and then all the practice that they have to do just to do it for that year is a lot compared to just the average day farrier that goes to work.
Yeah.
It's another job in itself.
So America, I mean, there's a plethora of countries that come out, but they have the way I understand it for the AFA is, or the USA, we have uh, trials, and then from those trials you occur points, and then there's a year-end convention that you compete at. That then all of those points and whoever gets highest there forms the team. That team um, is then the team that represents the country at the
So, from my knowledge,
yeah
it's very similar. Like there's a competition held every year, and every time you have to try out for the competition
yeah
to get in, and then they've got the apprentice bit, and then they've got the qualified bit,
that's right yeah
and then you effectively do that. The winners of they have basically they take the top of that competition for the year,
yeah
and that's what you get.
yeah.
So, and then you'll have, and then it just changes every year. So, if you don't want to do it, you just don't compete at the qualifying competition.
And it's difficult working on a team of farriers that flow, because we all have a different little nuance. There's a lot of practice that
Oh,
goes into
there's
it,
loads of
and
practice.
just getting along on a team. I've never competed on a team,
Hmm.
but just working with people, the workflow around it
Oh yeah,
is massive in the success of how the job gets
oh
done
yeah.
too.
The people that do it, they spend hours and hours in the forge. Then they go to their mate. They go to the other people on the team. They spend hours working together on the same anvil, learning each other's quirks,
Yeah.
learning which way is best.
Who spends the longest
Yeah,
on the rasp?
yeah.
Yeah,
Who spends longest on the rasp? Who spends longest on the foot?
yeah,
Who hogs time in certain areas to move them along?
yeah,
Who's weak in certain areas? Who's strong in certain areas? And when you're apprentice and you can get onto the English team, I was never lucky enough to have the chance to try, but time is time.
yeah.
It's such a great learning opportunity for everyone to do it. It's a great opportunity because you get to mix with the top hands around the country.
And the way I understand it, once you get on the team, your skill level just
Oh yeah,
skyrockets.
yeah.
One, your skill has to be at that highest level
Mm.
to get on, but then you're in
You're in
bowl of
peers that are
piranhas.
yeah. You're in peers.
Yeah,
Everyone is as competitive as you are, if not probably more.
yeah,
And you've got you. They're going to push you up because if you're competing with them, they don't want you. If you suddenly become lazy or you just have a bad day, everyone has a bad day, but they're going to push you up because they
yeah,
don't want to lose.
yeah.
And that is generally why I think the English team is so formidable compared to other countries' teams.
And the culture of working together.
Yeah,
Like, I would say that's the biggest thing that you guys have
yeah,
is the
very true.
apprenticeship, and we'll talk about that later
Yeah.
about what the company and
Hmm.
is, and the apprenticeship program and things of that
Yeah.
nature. But it's a team mentality, like we were talking on the way here.
Yeah.
Horseshoeing's a team sport.
It is. It's a 2-man, 3-man, 4-man sport.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can stand up and have a break and someone else carries on, the longevity and just for the social aspect, it's going to keep you better, happier,
absolutely.
and
Your back's not going to be so
yeah,
sore.
exactly.
Huh?
Obviously, there's the
And the
finance.
mind. Yeah.
Yes, and the financial aspect is
So you're going to go to the Farrier Focus and just
I'm
highlight
I'm
the
going to I
times.
will be yes I'll be doing a PowerPoint presentation, a small talk on the side just to show what I've done
Yeah.
for the BFBA as to say thank you,
Yeah.
and then if the maybe I'll be going to colleges. We'll just see what happens and
Yeah.
go there because life changes very quickly.
Yeah. You would encourage
I
anyone?
I would encourage anyone that's straight out of apprenticeship to do it
Yeah.
because you've got hopefully no dependents, then you've got little work to worry about. Yes, financially you're in a weaker position, but at the end of the day, it's 3 months of your life that
Yeah.
you don't have to pay a lot for.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not paid a lot my entire time here.
Everyone kind of takes care of you in a way, right?
Everyone
Like,
looks after you. Everyone feeds
yeah.
you. Everyone wants to teach something, wants to give you something.
Yeah.
You know, you've just got to be there, be up for it.
Show off the country in
Yeah,
a way.
exactly,
Right?
and just
Yeah.
showcase. Like when I came here, I was I was looking on previous places. Everyone goes to Florida. Everyone goes to Texas. Everyone goes to the big horse areas, but there's never anything from the Northwest or
Yeah.
anything. So I was like, I don't want to do the samey. Let's do something completely different, and let's start from the north side of the country and let's get down as far south as I can in
Yeah.
that time. And then when I was speaking to Vern Powell, about Travis Vern Powell, he said, "Okay, cool." And then a couple of weeks later, I got contacted by a guy called Brian Strelo. He's the head of the Farriers Associations of Washington. I can't say the word properly.
Yeah, the president.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're right, I'm going to help get this all organized and help you out." And he has so far given me one of the best experiences of my life so far.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And so you started up in Seattle.
Yep.
And you're traveling. You went
Yeah.
eastern Washington.
I'm effectively going clockwise around Washington and high and a little bit of Idaho as well. So I started in Seattle, then I've been over to Ellensburg Way, then to the Colville Reservation near the border, and then I've been over to Spokane Deer City, staying with a crew of guys there,
Yeah.
and just traveling, having fun, meeting lots of different people on the way. Then I've been to Pullman and Moscow on like the Idaho-Washington border with the WSU, which is like a big university for veterinary, for equine. And
what was some cool place or things at the vet office? Because that's
So-
a lot of people probably wonder, like, oh, you're going to the big university
yeah,
vet office. What actually takes place there? I mean,
loads of things.
Paul McGinn
So
is who you're with,
yes,
right?
so
He's a journeyman,
yeah.
and like,
Oh, it's great. Like he said to me on the first day with him on Monday, he just said, "Right, I'm gonna take you to the vet place just to show you off, and we'll see if we can get you into a surgery
yeah,
later on in the week." So we turn up, and there's this horse that's just had an X-ray. It's just had a laminitic bout from a colic episode, and it is in need of stuff straight away. And the surgeon says, "Oh, good job you're here. Can you put some clogs on that, or what do you think's best?" And he basically Paul said, "Ed, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, let's do the clogs then, if we can do that." So I did my first time doing clogs. He did it step by step and showed me how to do it. And then I did it under his supervision. And felt so lucky to be able to have that opportunity to do it. And it was such an unexpected thing, like just go and do it.
yeah.
And then we took x-rays afterwards, and the angle was better, and the horse was more comfortable walking out than it came in. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing we can do.
My experience working in vet clinics is that's the biggest thing as farriers that we can appreciate from that is being able to come in, workup, see the X-rays at that time, do exactly what we plan to do, execute,
Yeah.
and then see the after,
Yeah.
whether it worked or it didn't,
Yeah.
and immediate, and then see it after time. You know, it'd be great to see that horse in 4 weeks.
Oh, it would be great.
Yeah.
It would be great. My issue is I'm only there for a week at a time.
Yeah,
So
get Paul's report.
yeah, I'll get Paul's report in a couple of weeks or something. If I can't wait.
Yeah.
And then I managed to get into a surgery for a hock surgery.
What was it, OCD or something?
Yeah, OCD. There were lots of bone chips in the hock and on the end of the condyle.
Okay.
And it was really keyhole surgery. It was really interesting to see. Everyone was really welcoming, and obviously they just threw me in all the medical stuff and then put
gown
me
and everything.
gown, everything, head stuff, full mask, put me in the corner, and I stood there with all the vet students that aren't surgical related watching, and they were all asking loads of questions, and at the same time it was such a great learning environment in a surgery being taken place at the same time. Yeah, it was a very rare opportunity.
Is that something that you thought that you would be able to do when you first got into shoeing horses? A lot of people see it as we're banging on steel and trimming feet, but the medical component of it
it's a different world. Like when I first started, you make the horse go clip clop, goes down the road, happy days. Yeah. Then you start learning about all the anatomy and physiology, how the hoof morphs and changes to how you trim it or how the horse moves. Yeah. And its job changes, and how you can then apply different shoeing methods or different composite methods or just a different way you trim it to change that to benefit the horse's movement, to improve their job or make the horse more comfortable. And everyone thinks it's so simple, but you can just go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's never one right answer. Yeah. Everything's a different answer, or it could be a similar. There's no right answer or wrong answer in certain ways.
I always go after, you have to know the anatomy, and then that'll give you a clue of what needs to happen per the diagnosis, and know normal anatomy so you can recognize irregular anatomy, and then you can fix it from there
Oh,
as
definitely.
much as you can,
Oh,
because you
definitely.
do want to make it as normal as possible. The limb, or
Well,
not, you're not going to make the limb normal, but the foot
oh yeah,
there.
that's the thing. You've got the your ideologies that you've been taught.
Yeah.
Hoof HPA, medial lateral balance. Try and get the bone column as equal as you can.
Yeah.
Support it the best way. Sometimes that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's like a case of where you as a farrier, how can I get it to that, or how can I get it to that over time? Because most people think you need to do an instant quick fix. You
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Hoof feet grow and they change.
Yeah.
So you need to do it over 3, 4, 5 shootings maybe.
And be thinking ahead.
Yeah.
What is it gonna
Yeah,
what is gonna happen during that
yeah,
time?
and what needs to happen to promote it.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed with barrel racers is if they're not shod, or they're shod without things, they like to flare at the quarters because they're going around those tight turns, and the hoof, the quarters, the outside quarters and the inside quarters are changing completely because they're going around those tight turns so quickly. And what I've noticed is they start flaring and then they need to be gathered up, and people always go straight away to gather them up. So why don't we just throw a quarter clip on to maintain the hoof capsule, provide the support on the medial lateral sides whilst it's going, and would it not in theory improve the horse's going? So
yeah, that's one theory. I think a lot of the speed events and just the Western ideology of having clips, that's
oh yes, it's very much a different,
irregularity
it's
in
different.
that culture, right?
Yes, well, that's one thing I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like all the Western, they're not used to clips.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often.
No.
But what thing I've found is, depending on the farrier that I'm with, it also depends on their education. The higher education, some are using more clips. The lower education, they're not using as many. And it's all just down to the fact of how they're able to explain it and educate the customer on why they think it's best.
Yeah.
I've never known a customer to disregard it if you've not been able to explain it well enough. Obviously, there's an exception to that, but the majority of times you can explain it simply and explain why you want to do this.
How would, for this instance of the barrel racer, how would you encourage the barrel racer to have clips on, because they're going to step on it? They're going to step on a clip.
I can understand
on a
why.
speed
Yeah,
horse.
yeah.
You know.
Well, it's very simple. The clip will be fitted flush with the hoof wall.
Yeah.
The support will be given is going to be adequate to support the hoof capsule for the shoeing, but it's not going to be all the way out there. Now it's effectively just going to be a normal shoe like you do with like a rim shoe that you guys like to call it. You're just going to put it on with the quarters, and that quarter clip is just there to support that quarter, and it keeps the shoe there, and it just allows the horse to basically wear the shoe out and maintain where the quarter is over time.
Yeah.
And it will change the hoof capsule. So I'd say to the customer, look, I've noticed the hoof capsule's been spreading. I would like to try this. Can we try it? You tell me how it goes, and let's keep going. And if it's not working, we'll change it back. We can always take them off.
Absolutely. Being fluid in that.
Yeah,
like
you can always
at least
change
give it the best go on the theory that you know.
Yeah.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
Yeah. Like tell them to take a video so we can have a look at it and see the difference.
Absolutely.
You know, like when I was with Paul, we did exactly that. And I saw videos of the horse going beforehand. The legs were not going straight. Afterwards, they were pushing off. The horse was pushing around the corner, and it was going quicker. I was a bit like, wow. That's just one case though. You need to do
that's just by quarter clipping.
Just by putting his shoes on behind that.
Just
shoes on behind that.
Yeah,
one
getting some purchase grip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was with quarter clips, but
you're allowing the hind end to engage more
and do what it wants to do.
Yeah, exactly. Get the engine going.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Absolutely. So we talked about education briefly. What got you into the trade, and how did that look like going into for you personally, and what does that look like for someone in the UK? Because here in the US, you could just go buy tools and call yourself a farrier. Throw your card on the wall, or there's 24-week programs. There's actual schools that you could go to almost in every state, and they're very good for the time that you have. But what is that education system?
The education system is, when I did it, was a 4-year apprenticeship. It's now about the same, but everything has changed since I've started. It's changed now to be a little bit more streamlined. But we'll just talk about mine because of
Yeah,
what I've
absolutely.
experienced.
For what you know.
So when we started, I was like, well, I want to do it. I spoke to my uncle who's a farrier. He was old school, so he wasn't too sure. He said, just go and speak to one of the colleges that does it, and told me which college there is.
How many colleges are there
So
now?
currently there's 3 colleges in the UK. We've got Myerscough up in the north, we've got Hereford, and then we've got Warwick, which is Morton Morrell. So it's like a big chain down, so it covers the entire country.
My.
So it's good. It's good. So I called up one of the colleges. I said, how do I get involved with this? I was then informed to say, right, when I started, we needed a pre-forging certificate to get on to say we're capable of doing the basics forging, and you're up to a basic forging level before you start your apprenticeship.
What's that basic forging? Because I've
So
seen different lists of
so
forging
this
techniques.
is like real old fashioned because
Yeah.
I was the last of the group that required this to
Mhm.
take it.
Make a
So
figure eight.
yeah, so figure eights, bow shackles, set eye hooks,
Drop point.
sections,
Section, yeah.
points, basic, and it's just to show that you know how to light a fire, you know how to use a hammer, and so you know roughly you know how to if someone says to you, just go on the bick and bend that over there, you can do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's not the first time you swung a hammer in your life.
How long did it take you to complete that list?
So there were 2 options.
Yeah.
Now there's a year option course that was available at the time, and then there was a 3-month option course. Now because I came from an equine and horse background, I didn't feel I needed to do the year one because that was also focusing on the horse aspect as well and the horse care.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to waste another
What
year.
was that background? Do you think that yeah.
So I grew up with horses. I was doing a bit of eventing, dressage, low level to medium. I was capable enough,
Yeah.
and then I worked on a breaking yard for young eventers. So we'd back a horse, and then we'd move it on, and I'd be an assistant and help with that and getting on some of them myself.
A lot of good time.
Yeah,
Familiar with
yeah,
it.
familiar. I know how to read a horse. I know
Yeah.
how to keep one distracted. You know, it's one of those. So when I was just like, I've got the horse element to like the horsemanship element to me, so that's fine. I don't have the forging. So the Farrier on that's breaking yard came on, and I said to him, "Look, I'm interested. What do I do?" He said, "Right, come with me for a couple of days work experience." And all he did for those couple of days was try to discourage me to not do it. And I understand why he did it now that I'm later on. But he was great. And then he said, "You still interested?" Yeah, I'm still interested. So then he introduced me to his boss, David Gully. Now, David Gully was an older retired farrier at the time.
Kind of a legend.
Yeah,
in
he was a legend.
trade.
And that bloke taught me how to light my first fire. David Gully, yeah. He taught me how to light my first fire and how to swing a hammer and start drawing sections out.
Yeah.
And he was then basically said, right, start writing handwritten letters. And we'd go in the forge in the morning. I'd swing my hammer, make sections, burn myself because I'm not used to it. Then we'd go into his kitchen, we'd write handwritten letters out, and he'd look at it and go, change this bit, do this bit, change this, and then send them out. I sent them out, not much response back. And I was just like, well, I'm still interested. What should I do? And he said, well, you're doing the Farrier, the 3-month course, because I've chosen the 3 months.
Yeah.
He said, okay. Then the bloke that got me involved with David Gully said, right, come with me to a competition. So I was taken to a competition and introduced me to my then boss. He basically said, are you interested? I said, when are you going to the pre-course? I said, I'm going in 2 weeks' time. He said, all right, come with me for a week and we'll see what we can do. So I went with him for a week just to get the feel of working with him. And I liked it. Obviously, I wanted the job. It's very hard to get a job at that time. I think there's only 150 training farriers in the country available to take on. So finding one is like gold dust.
Yeah.
So he did that, and he said, just go to the pre-course. Started the pre-course. 3 months time, every weekend, he catch up on me and tell me to come to the forge. So every weekend or every other weekend, I go to the forge, practice making shoes, doing my sections, doing this and that, and then he would basically, when I passed my pre-forging course, I passed it, and then one of the teachers of the Farrier College came in and said, right, Ed, come with me, mate. And he said, you've got a job with so-and-so that you've been going to as long as you passed, so come and do this interview. So I did the interview the day I passed, wrote the paperwork, and then I got a text saying, be at my Monday morning at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Turned up.
Just
Just like that.
Blank blank text.
Just a blank text.
MI6.
Yeah, just be it. It's just like I was gobsmacked. He was like, "Congratulations, be at mine." I'm like, "Cool." So then,
awesome.
and that's how it started.
Yeah. So you didn't have to write a letter to him.
No, because I was lucky. I was introduced.
Exactly.
He was looking, and
well, you were putting in all the work.
I was putting in. I turned up to the competition.
Yeah.
I was asked to make a shoe, and I was like, I was not ready to make a shoe in any way, shape, or form. I ended up having multiple apprentices, older ones, literally gathering around the back of a van in the car park, all trying to tell me to do this, this, and this, and I was just,
Fries your brain.
it did fry my brain.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god! And then Gary Darlow, who the competition it was, came over, looked at it, asked what the situation was. He said, "Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a lot to take.
It's too much. Don't worry."
It really
so
is.
he just basically calmed me down with that one, and then the farrier just said, "Yeah, don't worry. Just turn up and have a week with me. And we'll see what happens."
So then you start your apprenticeship then.
Yeah,
before you go to school.
So it wasn't. I was basically in. I was then for the next 3 months. I was then basically I was a pre-apprentice. Like I hadn't started it officially, so I was learning how to make shoes. I was stocking the van.
Are they teaching you how that your master or how? What's their
just
approved training?
Your ATF, or we just call him boss.
Boss.
My boss.
Your boss.
He was just saying, right, this is the anvil. These are the tools you need. He got me some tools together, some basic tools, because everything we're at this point we were discussing the apprenticeship was discussing whether to take tool making out or keep it in at that point, but we did it when it was keeping in, so we were a bit like in grey man's area, so no one really knew. So I did it, had a few basic tools, went to my college block for the first time, and that first day I was an official apprentice, but I was still, so I did 3 months before I started my apprenticeship. And then another 3 months before that when I did my pre-course.
Was he giving you demos then?
Yeah, he was. He was just showing me how to make. I was making shoes.
Yeah.
I was just doing the basics.
That's awesome. And so there's a detailed list of what you should.
Yeah, he just started toe bends.
It seems like the English are really good at educating people through a system that works.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a very hard system because there's not much room for slack. If you start slacking, you get pushed out. And by proof of that, we started our first college lot with about 17 people. We lost about 4 in the first block, either by people being back blocked or people being sacked completely or changing bosses. But some people just never came back. Yeah, you know, like the first 6 months, and then
you have to really grunt up and
you
do it.
The first year is the hardest year. It's like they start breaking you down. They're just like, we're just going to keep pushing you and pushing you and to see if you actually really want it.
Yeah. Because you have to be successful.
Yeah.
I don't know what the attrition rate in the U.S. is, but I think it's quite high. People that go to school and then 5 years later, they're not in the trade anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's quite high. But a lot of that is because people aren't weeded out, vetted in that same fashion, you know. It's just a testament to the program.
It is. I mean, from the originals, like that we started with, I think there was about 11 of the original before we took our diploma, you know, so it's not easy in any way, shape. People fail or they have a bad time or a family issue happens, because it's a long process. You change as a person in those 4 years.
So it's a 4-year program. You go from pre
you do a 3 month or a year pre, and then you're not even an apprentice, you're just someone knocking on the door to get in.
And then what is your actual apprentice? So
the apprenticeship is 4 years long.
So then you go to school through that.
Yeah, you do like a block. You do every 6 months. You do a block of college,
and then you're home. You're with your boss for
the rest of it, like an everyday job.
So like 6 months at college.
No,
6 months.
No, it's a month at college. So you go to college for 3 to 4 weeks, depending on what time sometimes it's a 2 weeks, sometimes it's a bit longer. It all depends on what stage you're at and what it is. So my first block was a month, because they get everything. They just make sure everyone's capable. You get a test and you do that, and then that's that. So I passed my first month, then I went away for 6 months. Then I went to block.
With your boss.
Yeah, 6 months, like you're doing, like you turn up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. That's every day. It's one of those, it's literally an 8 to 5 job, or however long you work. But obviously you work a lot more, because once you finish work, you go into the forge and practice, or you go and get into your theory books. Yeah. So it's
8 to 8.
Yeah.
8 to 9, midnight.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time working for it.
Yeah.
So It's not easy. Not a lot of people get burnt out very quick because you're also doing high numbers
Yeah. During the day.
during the day.
Yeah.
You're doing high numbers to pay for your wage and to pay for the boss. And obviously, the boss wants payback. He's spending a lot of money in materials to get you to a good standard and putting time into you.
You're now on first block, going into things how you're back with your boss,
Yeah.
um,
So,
and then you're with him for a period of time, and how now you're going back to second block, and
so I finished first block. You have to wait a couple of weeks until you get your results. So that's always nerve wracking because it's
okay,
like
so it's actually tested.
it's tested.
Yeah.
After every block, you get tested and you've got a pass to go forwards.
Yeah.
So you do a theory and you do a practical. So I did my theory, did my practical, passed both, and you're meant to pass both. It's literally, they give you a lot of information and they want you to get minimum 60%. That is the benchmark, minimum 60 to pass.
Yeah.
So they're nice in the first block because they want people to absorb it. It's a lot to take on. You're about to start a new lifestyle. So I did that, got my pass mark. The boss said, right, well done. Let's get back in the forge then. And it was very hard, a big change from what I was used to. I was struggling to begin with. I went to work. We started at 8 o'clock. Then we worked till about 5, 6 o'clock. Then we went in the forge. Now I wasn't the most gifted in the forge, and my boss will agree with that because it was struggle completely different to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
So it was like every night, 10 toe bends, and then once my toe bends were good enough, we did heels, and we just did heels, toe bends, heels, and then when I was capable of that, I then bent them around the branch. Then I did the inside heel. Then it was literally like building it step by step. And then
in repetition,
repetition,
Yeah.
and it took me a long time to get them. And then you'd be crazy how hard it is to teach someone to put a nail hole in for the first time. Yeah. Either you smack the section, it goes like this. You do it the wrong way, wrong pitch.
Striking your tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into the anvil, breaking your tools.
Yeah.
That's why they're always trying to push you at the end of it to get it out. I mean, so I was so focused on the practical when I did that, I neglected my theory for the first stint to block 2. So I came in, I passed my practical on block 2 well. I was really happy, but I just missed my theory mark. That's because I neglected it. I didn't do as much as I thought I needed to do. Yeah. Obviously, I was a young kid. I was just 18.
Dude, I think it's super mature of you to be able to recognize that and then call it out within yourself.
Yeah, but it's huge. There's no hiding in this job.
That's so true. You can't skirt around the difficult things.
There's no hiding at all. Yeah. So I do so I started in February when I was 18. Now in England, the government pays for your apprenticeship before you're 19. So I was on a time crunch.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I was freshly 18 started. In May, I became 19. So I just got in literally within months to get my apprenticeship paid for, which is great. Like people from Scotland have had to support themselves and get it done themselves. So I've been very lucky in that fact.
Yeah.
So then I started, I did my block 2. It was an absolute jumping back in the deep end because I realized, oh shit, I didn't fucking practice enough for my theory. So I did it. I expected the result, really. I did expect it. And I was told, and obviously the boss wasn't too happy because he's got high standards. Yeah. So I went, he introduced me to a lady who's a farrier, and she's very, very good. She got the highest mark in one of her testing years, and she got like distinction for her theory. Really smart lady. And she was one of the people that proposed me to go on the exchange.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah. So I'd literally do one night in the forge, then the other night I'd go to her. We'd literally just go to a pub and she would grill me for an evening.
Yeah.
She'd say, "What's this?" And I'd say, and she said it wrong. Right, what's that mean? And I did that for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Just endless on off, just to get back up to standard because I was so worried to doing it that I didn't want to fall back. And then effectively the opposite thing happened. So block 3, got round to block 3 because basically you get one shot.
Yeah.
So so I already failed the theory, so I wasn't in the good books. But then it basically flipped round. So then I passed the theory with flying colours, and then I failed on the practical because I'd not focused as much on the practical. So my boss was tearing his hair out at me, having a go, threatening, and quite understandably so, because I wasn't the ideal.
Sure.
I couldn't completely understand why he said that. And I was like, I need to fucking look to myself. So I'd go to his work and spend as much time, then I go home at theory, do as much theory as I possibly could, and then just repeat. It was a long first
Just
year.
staying fresh all the time.
Just
on
trying to
everything.
do my best, wearing myself out, and
Yeah.
I should have relaxed a bit more, and I probably got better at it. But that
Sure.
was in the past.
Yeah.
So I got to block 3. So block 3, failed the practical. That's it. Went back again, passed it. Happy days. You know, I was just like, yeah, able to do it. So then we have like a big gap in the middle of our apprenticeship. So from block 4 to 5, I think, or it's 3 to 4. There's a big 6 month. There's like a big 9-month gap because they expand it. So because it's a big, basically they you get sent away to work to practice everything, get up to scratch, and people come back, change people. So I went back. I've been doing a lot of practice, a lot of theory. I've managed to get the level a bit better.
A lot of horses with your
a
boss.
lot of horses.
Yeah.
It was during the summer.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of horses, and then we went to the winter doing a lot less horses, and then I was more progressive in the forge. So he would let me make more shoes for different styles, and I was capable of making stuff, and we ended up doing a lot of larger horses.
Are you able to talk about theory and stuff with your boss when you're working, or is it heads down?
It was heads down, but it was very much. I could talk to him afterwards and ask him, and he'd explain why he did it.
That's a good boss.
We never spoke about it in front of the customer because it would scare some customers from what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge, and when we start using the anatomical words, it goes over their heads and they get really worried.
Yeah.
So we sort of spoke about it in the van, and he said why he did this and why he did that, and all he was doing was the basics. There was no like, oh my god, I've thrown a bar shoe that I've made with glitter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was just simple, good, safe shoeing. There was no.
That solves 90% of the issues.
It does. That's what I found with horses that have come to me with issues.
Yeah.
Like X-race horses, I've just shod simply and appropriately to the horse.
Yeah.
Wow, it can walk again. It's
as easy as it comes. Leave them some foot and drive good nails.
Well, hopefully. Yes.
Yeah. So block that gap.
That big gap where the tutors basically said to us when we came back, right, a lot of you have changed, and they literally just came straight back into it. Boom, boom, boom. That's when they expect a lot of people to neglect the theory. I wasn't, because I was like, focus. So
you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
That's huge.
So I kept up with the theory lessons. Basically, I got bollockings every other week or something from her, which helped. Yeah. And it was like, went in, got my theory done, did well, and I passed, and I was really happy. And we also have a verbal, so they have a horse come in, and you just say what you think. They'll ask you questions about it, this, that. The teacher said, you have been one of the most changed turnaround farriers apprentices we've seen, and you've had a major improvement. Well done.
How'd that feel?
That was like a relief.
Yeah.
I was walking around like a dead man, like that entire college block, going fuck. I need to get this right. Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, shit, that's all right then. And I got an award, and they do like they'll go to the BFBA, there's a magazine, and they'll say to the colleges, do you want to give any apprentice award for like best improvement, the best thing they've seen in a while?
Yeah.
And I got one.
Rising star.
Yeah, pretty much. So I got most improved. Yeah. Pat on the shoulder. Well done, son. Carry on. All that type of shit. So.
Well, hard work always pays off.
Well, eventually.
Yeah.
You just got to keep banging your head against a brick wall until it stops.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then you finish up that.
Carried on with the apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And then basically at the end of my apprenticeship, I was offered a job with a significant.
So you're completely done with your theory.
Well, I've still gone through the blocks. I'm going to skip towards the end now because it's repetitive.
It's just repetitive.
Yeah, it's repetitive back and forth. basically the longer you get in, they start adding pathologies, what to do with this, what to do with that, laminitis,
How to recognize
just how
it,
to
yeah.
recognize it, how would you treat it,
Yeah.
And what they do, on the board, they just write on the board, the foot is 6 inches wide by 6.5 long. It's got this. What would you do? And then make a shoe.
Oh, that's awesome.
For it.
Yeah. One thing you highlighted was the oral portion.
Yes.
And going through the journeyman process, and the CF process, there's a little bit of the verbal, but there's so much. I'm currently going through, and I've sat the associate once. I've missed the mark there, but coming back after it. And for me, the oral portion is a little bit unnerving because it takes all of the theory that you have and you have to put it out in front of your peers and someone who's judging you.
It makes you feel like a deer in headlights.
Absolutely.
So they do that because in the diploma, when I did it, you have to do a 30-minute oral with 2 senior farriers, which are examiners, and a vet as well. So they put you under that much pressure. So when you go to the exam, it's should be like a walk in the park.
Absolutely.
So they push you above. The saying is, if you're a passing student every day, you're going to go down a grade on the exam. So they push you to be a B or an A, and keep you at the B or an A, because when you get to the exam and your nerves hit you, you just go down to a C, and you still pass.
Yeah.
But if you're just happily mooching along at a C, the nerves will get to you, and then you'll fail.
Yeah. You inherently forget something. Just go absent-minded and draw a blank.
The stress that people feel, because it's like you spent 4 years of your life just focusing on this next 2 days of your life, and that is basically, when you're an apprentice, that is just the epitome of it. That's all you've got. That's all you've been thinking about for your entire 4 years, and it hits a lot of people hard, stresses a lot of people out. It hit me hard. I struggled big time with it. I mean, it was a very difficult time.
Yeah.
But it's like, I was lucky in the fact that some lads, they had kids on the way. They had a family.
Yeah.
I was lucky that I didn't have any of those responsibilities weighing down my mind. But, think to yourself, if I don't pull this clip straight or I don't pull this clip correctly, I won't be able to feed my family when the kid comes. Because we're on a very, very small wage.
Yeah.
It's a good wage because it comes up to minimum wage at that point, but it's not an easy thing to live on when you've got to focus, and then all of a sudden you've got a kid or something. It's not going to be the easiest thing.
They're counting on you.
Yeah.
And that's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it. So
Absolutely.
there's a lot of pressure that goes into it. So I'll talk to you about the exam. So they've got a theory paper. So on the Friday you'll do a theory paper. You'll go through it. You'll then talk to your mates all about it and stress yourself out on that. And then you'll have your practical on the Monday. And they'll basically, the examiners will look at all the horses. They'll say, right, we'll do this and this. They've looked at all the horses. They agree it's suitable. They'll come in and say, right, we want an 8-week cycle, fully followed front, concave hind. And then you get given a horse letter. Horse A. You get horse A. You're paired up with somebody. You're given a candidate number. There's no names. There's no insignias. There's
your number 6.
That's all you're called, isn't it?
Candidate 6.
You're candidate 6. Yeah, that is literally all it is. So then you walk out and they trot the horse up in front of you, and they basically want to know if you can read the difference between a horse that's going normally or the horse that's going not normally, and that's just for them to know how competent you are and how confident you are in being able to talk and say. So I looked at it. The horse was landing medially, and the examiner said to me, "What do you reckon then?" I said, "Look, mate, it looks like it's landing medially, but it could just be in the trim. It just could be due." And he said, "Okay, that's fine." And then didn't say anything. Like, there was no positive or negative. It was just passive.
Yeah.
Just little writing on his keyboard, on his notepad. Right. That was it. Went in, started shooting the horse, picked the foot up, cleaned it out. The frog was atrophied, so there was nothing for me to take off. So the first thing I did was I looked out, because you can fail for not touching your frog, but if you talk to them about it, they will acknowledge what you're doing, and it shows competence. So I looked at I saw the nearest white coat, which was one of the examiners. I said, "Excuse me, sir," and he came over. I said, "Look, I'm not going to touch these frogs. I'm just going to do the bare minimum because they're atrophied. There's nothing there." And he just nodded, said, "Okay, happy days." Wrote it on his notepad, and then I shod the horse, shod the horse, happy with my job. Well, you're never happy, but you're happy enough. Shod it.
Satisfactory.
Yeah, walked back, and the examiner said, "Would you change anything after the trot up? Because they trot up after your shoeing to check if it's sound." I said, "Personally, I'd probably make my fronts a bit shorter from a personal preference." He said, "No." I said, "Okay, that's fine." And he said, "All right, thank you." And off you go. But he gave me a look, and I was a bit like, "Okay."
Do they have to be toe clipped or quarter clipped?
They can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But you've got to be able to justify why you're doing it. If you want to put a bar shoe on and be a hero, there's a good chance you'll fail because you're only there just to put a normal shoe on.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
They really want you to stick to a fully followed or something like that. So you do the theory, you do your practical, then you run back to your housing and get all cleaned up and put into a suit, get yourself into a suit, because then you go for the oral where they take you in. This gets split up into 3 1-to-1s like this. It's very intense. There's one for the shoe boards, one for
and that's the shoe board. Do they have a panel of all 3 examiners?
So both of the farrier examiners have effectively marked them already and given you a mark, because that is an end mark to your practical as well. So if you have a really good board, it'll bring up your practical mark. Yeah, but you can also fail your entire practical on a nail not fitting on your board.
Oh, really?
Because you've had all this time. There's been no time limit. Yeah, it needs to fit. If a nail isn't fitting, and I mean like doesn't snap in, doesn't lock, there isn't any sympathy in that run really, because there's no time limit, there's no pushing, there's no pressure to make it. It is the best of the best you can do. So you do that, he'll pick your board up, he'll put it down, and he'll just pick up the shoe and say, "So what's this?" And you've got to explain it and then say, "So how would this affect the horse's limb? How would it affect its gait? What's a roll toe?" And you've just got to explain it. Explain what you see. Then he'll challenge you. He'll just if they give you a hard time, it's either 2 things. One, you've done really well and you're like a high level C, or you're trying to get you above another grade, or they're just trying to get you to pass. Yeah. So they're trying to get as much information, because some people are better at talking than they are doing essays. So it is what it is. So he did that, and we did that. I ended up talking about a stud hole for about 10 minutes.
That was the first thing that caught my eye. Yeah. Lateral stud hole. I'm like, that. What's going on there?
Yeah. What? So we just talked about a stud hole for about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah. And what would happen, all this and that, and just talking. And then at the end of the time, we got distracted talking about that. So we picked up the hunt shoe and said, "How long is this shod?" 3 to 4 weeks. Thank you. Off you go. So there's a big horn that sounds, and you get moved on to the next one. It's like hot seats. Yeah. So then you move into the next one. I came on. The table was full with cadaver bones, legs, diagrams, no labels, anything. And the first question he said was, "Find the proximal sesamoids and place them on the limb." Easy peasy. Yeah. Did that. Happy days. Then he got me this foal leg out, put it in front of me and said, "Which leg is this?" Found the chestnut. Put it on. I said, "Well, it's that one that's the front left." He was like, "Lovely. Cool. Well, when did it die?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Well, it's all got the fleshy bits, the tentacle bits." Yeah. What they call,
I can't say it, the epicomium.
Yes, I can't say it. Yeah. And I said, "Well, it's a stillborn." And he said, "Okay." And then
that's awesome to be able to see that.
So then he just pointed to things and said, "What's this? What's that? What's this? What's that?" Just pointed all the structures, cortical bone, all the way to he got the things of the obliques out and stuff, and just said, "What would do this and that?" I was like, that. He was like, "Cool." Horn went, off you go. Then I went to the vet. There was a horse rugged up. I was like, look at it. I was like, "Well, it's got all right condition." I looked underneath the rug. She said, "So and so, this and that. It's got a confirmation of this, pigeon toed." She said, "Okay." She said, "Pick the foot up for me." I said, "Okay." Pick the foot up. She pointed with a finger. "What happens if a nail went in there? What would happen?" Then I went through all the anatomy, everything involved, all the way up. And I was like, also they need a tetanus jab, because obviously if they're not up to date on the tetanus, they're going to need it. She's like, "No, okay, cool." Then she got some x-rays out, and the first thing she showed me was a normal x-ray. I looked and she said, "What do you think?" I said, "It looks like a normal x-ray." And she was like, "Cool." Then she showed me a laminitic one. I looked at it. She said, "What do you think of that?" "Well, I think it's a chronic type type 2. So it's basically the pedal bone's remodeled and it's staying that way. It ain't going to change. So it's chronic type 2. And she was like, okay, cool. And then after I literally spent 5 minutes when they said, off you go. I was just like, there, cool, done.
Nice.
And I was out and done. And then that was it.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
That's sweet. And then you go back to your boss after.
Yeah,
So
you
what
go
you
back-
pass, you get your diploma.
You don't even know. You've got to wait. It's 2 weeks
weeks,
now of
yeah.
limbo.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're an apprentice. You don't know if you're thing. So most lads like me, we went back to our boss, and we waited. And I was driving home, and I got a text. He was a clever boy then, and I got another text from the WCF to say, please check your results online. So I checked my results. Congratulations, you've passed.
Yeah.
I didn't go into work sober the next day.
That's something worth
Yeah.
celebrating for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And basically, the lads shook my hand and said, right, back to work.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
Just...
You were saying earlier how many farriers are in the UK versus how many are going into school?
Yes.
What roughly is
so at the moment there's about 2,500 registered in the UK, and then I'd say college classes when I started were close to 20 blocks intakes. Now I'd say they're about 10 or fewer, so it is slowing down slightly, but it is difficult with the new course that's coming in. They've raised the standards of the theory to start. So it's a lot more. So it's sort of outsourcing all those agricultural lads that are very smart practically and have the knowledge to do it, but aren't theory motivated to do it. So it's sort of enclosing the open filter. So it's you can't. If everyone wants like a grade 5 or something, it's like a C / B grade for your normal GCSEs, which is like your GED or something.
Okay.
So they've raised the bar on that. So it's shrunken the pool which are able to get into it.
Yeah. Long term, that may be beneficial. It may be, difficult. You'll cut a lot of people.
I think long term it is beneficial. However, with the way the course is, it soon cuts. And if you're not wanting to do it, if you're not fully set on doing it, or if you don't want to do it, it will soon push you away.
Absolutely.
You won't be able to progress.
Yeah. We don't need to get into the logistics of that, but it's something that I've heard from a lot of other people going through the higher exams, and just a bit of a rub. But I think having that small of a pool coming in, it might change with AI and stuff. People going more to a trade type job and wanting, I mean, who's going to replace a farrier? Not a robot.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't think so. Hopefully. Not anytime soon.
Well, like you said, when they make the horseshoeing robot, we better buy 20 of them, right? Yeah, exactly. And manage them appropriately.
Yeah.
There's not modern materials on there. Modern materials being glue, synthetics, cuffs, casting. What else would be in there? I'm trying to think.
Glue, casting, fillers.
Yeah.
Just that's pretty much glue. I mean, you are taught it basics, but from when I started, we didn't do that. I mean, from now the courses they have got a practical where they've got a trim now. So you've got to do a trim to standard. So you're classed as a trimmer as well, and you've also got to do a basic materials for your coursework whilst you're doing it to enable you to finish.
Okay.
But the way it's seen with the AW is the AWs or the degrees are to be practiced and a bit more well versed in the modern materials and available to basically be more skilled and able to do that. It doesn't mean a DIPW can't do it, because we've probably done about 10 during the apprenticeship.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's one distinction you were saying earlier, that if you have a horse that goes to the vet, you're most likely not going to be working on it because someone with a higher exam qualification is going to.
Yeah, there's a good chance the higher person will go and do it, and they'll either shoe it for the next 1 or 2 shoes, or they'll do it and they'll send it back to you, and you're just effectively refitting and following the prescription. But quite commonly it would just be they go and shoe it with all the remedial aspects added on, effect, and then they'll continue to shoe it until they're happy with it, and then I'll hand it back to you.
Yeah. I think it's talking to the folks that I know that have passed the fellowship, it's pretty cool that they have a lame horse come in
Mm.
and they're expected to
Yeah,
remediate the problem.
yeah.
It's like that's a true
It is
testimony
a
of
head
what.
scratcher. Like
Yeah.
it engaged my brain when I was at WSU. I'm going to go back to that. We're looking at things. There was a horse brought in, and it was not ideal. The way it was either poor farriery or poor management. I don't know. But we looked at it, and all the vets are scratching their head, looking this and that. And I'm effectively just stood there, just waiting, because I'm not used to being spoken to by the vets. I'm just letting the bloke that I'm with, who's the established one, talk to everything. Then all of a sudden, he turns around and looks at me. What do you think, Ed? And I look at him and go, "Fuck." I've just looked at the X-rays and gone, "Well, I'll just trim it normally, do the basics,
Yeah.
and see where we go from there." And I just looked at him and said, picked up the foot. I said, "Well, looking from the negative palmar action, there's a lot of hoof, and picking up looks like a lot of hoof. Why don't we just trim it and see what we're working with, and then we will apply to create a correct palmar angle and see what measures we can do to encourage correct hoof growth."
Yeah.
And I watched the entire room of all these vets and doctors all go, "Oh my God, he knows what he's talking about." And I'm just going, it's just the basics.
Yeah, it's the basics, but it's also that thought process
Mm.
of, I would say, remedial farriery.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the basics, and then we can get more or less extreme.
Less is often more to begin with.
Yeah.
Because at least then you know, if you only change one thing, you know if it works or not, and then you can take it off, or you can put something different on to add on to it.
Yeah.
It's like lots of little steps. But if you suddenly go and do lots of 10 different things, you don't know what's changed it to make it better, what's made it not better. It's like adding a potion and don't know what's the ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the next step for you?
Next step, I don't know. I'm a bit of a crossroads. I'm quite enjoying my time over here, and further education. I mean, before I came here, I wasn't really bothered, but speaking to all these people, all the enthusiastic people, it's really created enthusiasm within myself. So I'd either pursue the AW or I'll pursue the degree course. It all depends.
What's the degree course?
So the degree course is a 2-year foundation degree, which is like a bachelor's, I'd say.
Okay.
I'm probably wrong with that. And it is basically a more theory heavily sided bit of the AW.
Oh, no kidding. I didn't know. I knew the Royal Veterinary College had a program going on for a little bit, but then those folks, that college had shut down. But it was essentially a deeper theory on biomechanics and moment arms and things of that nature.
Effectively, I'll be honest with you, it's the same tutors. So the AW is more in-house, more privately done by basically the tutors that are doing the degree.
Mm-hmm.
So the degree that I know of is the one at MySco. I know lads that have done their diploma, they've gone straight to do the degree.
Yeah.
And I was not interested. I'd just done all that stress. I was like, right, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to focus on just perfecting the basics, and I'm going to go and build a bit of a business. And then I've come here. So we don't know what happens.
You're going to compete?
Yes, I'm going to go and compete in the Deer City Park competition.
Yeah.
Just have some fun.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the shoes
Here in Spokane, right?
Yeah, here in Spokane, yeah. So I get the opportunity to do that. Like, stuff like that.
Fun. Are you going to compete heavily, try to go to teams, or is that up your fancy?
I'm just going to go and compete at the more local stuff because the expense aspect of practicing for the high level is very high.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's not affordable to me. At the moment, nor do I have the time frame to focus on it. I've got to focus on building a business first to be more established.
Absolutely, and one hand washes the other with the theory. You're going to be able to actually take care of horses, and not that competing doesn't do that. But you have a good baseline of skills.
What I found with farriers that talk about that aren't as strong theory wise, what I've noticed is they say, "Well, why do they put all this stuff on?" I said, "Well, think about it. If your theory is better, you recognize things and you know how to deal with things and prevent things. End of the day, our job is prevention. Horse with a navicular, you recognize what's going on, so you know how to maintain it to now allow it to work continuously for a longer time at that level. It's very, compared to somebody who doesn't recognize it, it goes.
It's just doing the basics
just
and
doing
going on.
and it's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's lasting a year, but you might be able to make it 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
With just by recognizing the few slight changes.
And I think that that's where the common phrase "the horse performs in spite of us"
Yes.
comes, is people not recognizing that.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's going through the higher exam process myself. My shoeing has gone. My understanding, being able to recognize those problems and what I'm doing and not doing, has gone up several levels in just a few short years. It's a great journey to be on, really. What would you say is the biggest misconception in farriery as a whole? In talking with the clients and trainers, and because your business, and it seems like a lot of the businesses in the UK, people will be working on horses that are traveling hunters and jump. Well, you guys have field hunters, right? Where in the United States we have hunters of stadium hunters.
Yours are slightly different. Your hunters are slightly different from our hunters.
Yeah.
I mean, hunt horses generally, they tend to always go back to base, so they've always got one farrier looking after them. Give or take if they lose a shoe, stuff like that. Unless they're traveling. So with my hunt horses that I've dealt with, they go out hunting, and then they come back, and then I end up shoeing them, and then they go back. It's like a pit stop. They just keep going for the season as much as possible.
And they're traveling all over the country.
This customer is.
Yeah.
She loves it. She can't get enough of it, so she goes as far as she can get. Like some people only stay with the local one and go locally. It's all down to how much effort and how much you want and how much you want it.
And are they going? What does that look like? The actual hunt.
So the hunt
with the dogs and all that bit.
So it's all drag hunting.
Yeah.
So someone will lay a scent for the hounds to look for. So you've got the hunt master, and they're wearing red, and he's got a horn, and then you've got all the people on the side. So it's effectively just a day out to go cross country all over fields, and you dress up nice. The horse is presented well.
It's a real proper event.
It's a proper event. Yes, it's a proper event. Taking the piss out accent, like. So yeah, it's a good thing for a day out. It's controversial in the UK. Some people don't like it.
Sure.
I see it from a business point. I get to shoe horses every 4 weeks, and I provide the best support possible. And then the horses then get the winter off because they just basically the shoes come off. They go out in the field and I trim them. Yeah. It's a great reset for the feet compared to some other horses which are shod 24/7, and I'm always constantly having to maintain those feet to keep them going throughout the show jumping, whatever they're doing, dressaging, and they don't stop. So there's no rest.
Does your show season, much like here, goes year round?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's like you've always got the high level stuff people are always aiming for, but the low level stuff is constant going, especially with the new introduction of all these surfaces we've got and everything. If you're able to go in winter in an indoor arena with a surface that's not frozen, they can't. I mean, from over here I found it's a bit more seasonal. Like everyone, when it's winter, they have to slow down. I mean, in England they slow down a little bit because it is darker nights and stuff, but the majority of people that are diehards keep going. Yeah. And the horses don't get breaks.
I would say that's the biggest thing for the horses, having a break, where when you're showing that much, and I get it, it's a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
it's an animal, and you got to keep that in mind. It's not a machine to keep on pumping gas into.
It's because to us it's a leisure.
Yeah.
But to the horse it's work.
Yeah.
The horse doesn't care if it's eating grass in a field or if it's eating it in a show ring. They don't care. They just want to. Obviously they enjoy it, but like otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
Right.
And, I don't know how many people would really be able to make a 3/4 ton beast do something it doesn't want to do. Yeah. So it's a bit of a catch-22.
It is. And I would say horses break down a lot faster if they're not managed appropriately, if they're working that hard, and it all comes, one hand washes the other in that event too. Where are you working a lot with chiropractors and things of that nature and discussing those bits and like
I have done in the past, but I've had mixed reviews from people. Like but it is what it is. Like professionalism is encouraged sometimes.
It's a team sport in that event too, and managing everything and saying, hey, this is where we're going and this is my thoughts, and let's because at the end of the day the horse is the main
That's the person that's, and like, yeah, the owner
thing
and the
that
horse.
we're serving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're our service industry at the end
yeah,
of the day.
yeah, absolutely. Um, what other changes have you seen in the industry?
In the industry as a
Because
whole,
you've been at it for 6 years effectively.
yeah, I've seen a big growth in the hoof boots
Yeah,
that
we were
out,
talking
out
about
of
that.
nowhere. I mean, personally, why not?
Yeah,
Because trimming is a lot easier than shoeing a horse, and you can do a nice job and maintain it. Obviously, for the professionals and the people that are going around cross country and stuff, I'd say shoes, and people working on the roads, I'd say shoes. But people that are just enjoying it and just having it as a leisure activity, why not? I know
yeah,
that that's, yes, the more expensive to get hold of, and you need to maintain a trim more regularly because obviously feet grow, so you can't be like whimsidaisical with your trimming rotor. But a lot of the time, that is down to the owner's decision rather than the farrier, because the farrier will effectively say, yeah, if you want hoof boots, that's fine. Some agree, some don't. There's different ranges. But you do realise we'll have to come like every five weeks just to trim the horse to maintain it so it fits in your hoof boot so you can work it,
yeah.
which a lot of people struggle to recognise.
Effectively, is it the same price though? Like,
Yeah, it's a trim.
yeah,
You're doing the same thought processes. You're assessing the conformation. You're doing this. You're doing a hoof check,
yeah,
health, welfare, all that. You're still doing the same job. You're just
yeah,
doing it more regularly.
absolutely.
And it's not. At the end of the day, we're doing it to maintain so the horse can do the job. And maybe if we went there and we didn't do anything, we didn't even touch it,
Yeah,
which might happen, then I wouldn't charge. But if you've got to still trim and you've still got to assess the medial lateral balance and the hoof, the
that's the biggest
HPA,
thing. Even if you're taking a
that's
eighth
what
of an
that's
inch
what
off
we've
the lateral
worked and
side.
given the past 6 years of our life to do.
Yeah,
So let's get some recompensation and actually earn something for once,
yeah,
because you spend a long time. It's a long 4 years.
absolutely. Defining moments in your career.
Oh,
What what's anything highlighting like
well,
you're like,
obviously the diploma coming
yeah,
here.
coming here.
I mean, a big one is when I had an owner that was umming and ahhing about what the vet was saying, and I was a bit nervous. I was newly qualified, new horse, had suspensory issues behind. I was a bit like, well, I'm doing what I think is right. I'd always spoken to one of my farrier mates about it, and we both agreed I was on the right tracks. So I just said, just give me the vet's number, let me talk to him. So I spoke to the vet, and the vet said, I don't know what she's on about, mate. It's perfect. I don't have any worries at all. Just keep doing that. And I was like, oh, Sam. So it's the owner stressing over nothing,
Yeah,
and it made me stress. And all it took was me just to call and be professional and speak to the vet and say, is there anything you'd like me to do to change anything, or is there anything you'd suggest? And he said, no, keep doing that. It's more than suitable for the current situation. And I was just like, there you go, professionalism, just communication.
absolutely. That's the biggest thing
Is
that lacks in our
it's built
industry, I think.
it built confidence in me.
Yeah,
It built confidence in the owner because I wasn't scared to go and talk to the vet.
yeah.
I know some farriers that aren't because they're like, oh, but then he'll use big words or this. Just do it. Like, you'll probably learn something and you become
That's
better.
exactly it. I've always go into it with a winning mentality
Hmm.
of what can I learn,
Yeah,
and then go back and
yeah,
maybe study a bit on
yeah.
your own, and then bring more
Mm.
questions to the
It
table,
Yeah, it
and
might be a case that you teach them something,
yeah,
which is
or
even
bring something up
mm,
that they weren't thinking
yeah,
about. You know,
exactly.
I think well here I think vets think of feet in a way that there's not sensitive structure to it, and you only
True.
have so much to work with. Where we're very
They think it's got a massive block of cheese and they just want to
yeah,
do what they want with it.
exactly. Where we understand there's extreme limitations
Hmm.
to what can be done, and the hoof horn is gonna morph
Yeah,
good or bad
yeah,
because of it.
yeah. Like the balloon theory or effect, as we
Sure.
want to talk about. I've heard that a few times. If you clamp it at the quarters, it's going to make it go this way. If you clamp it at the toe, or you rob the toe, it's going to make it expand that way.
Yeah.
There's That's what I think vets struggle to realize. But then at the end of the day, a lot of them, to start with, only trained as GPs, and then they specialize later on. So it's just like us doing an apprenticeship. It just takes time to realize it. So you've either got to be professional and tell them why you disagree with it,
Yeah.
and ask them, is there any way we could do something else, and talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Because I've benefited from talking to vets and said, well, why are you thinking of doing that? And sometimes they've justified it and I've gone, okay. Or sometimes they've not been able to justify it. And then I've gone, so why don't we try this instead? Because I think this would be more beneficial, and we've gone with that.
Yeah. And in 5 to 10 weeks, you can say,
We can say it's not worked,
we're
or
going
it's
to go
worked.
somewhere else. Yeah.
And just change it.
That's, they call vet practices because they practice veterinary medicine.
Yeah.
And I think that we can also say that we practice farriery.
Yeah.
And it's a large bit in that we're practicing our theory, and hopefully we're dead on about it. But we got to have humility in being wrong.
Well, like you said earlier, it was, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely lost a lot of theory with my time off. I've been qualified 2 years, but just looking through books, it all comes back to you. Just even have a conversation with a like-minded person.
Absolutely.
It comes back to you very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff. Well, dude, I think we've got to. Is there anything that you want to cover?
Not that I think of, no.
Yeah. I'm excited. Your future looks bright, man.
Cheers.
I think you got a good head on your shoulders and going places.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, I look forward to it. There's one part of Stoic and Steel I've called it the Stoic 7. So what's your best financial advice for someone getting into the trade and wanting to go, be successful?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't look, money will come.
Yeah.
If it means you've got to go work milking cows at the weekend like I did for my first year of apprenticeship, just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's an investment into yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't be afraid of hard work.
Yeah. If anything good comes from not working hard. So
yeah,
like, you may not have the best bank balance at the moment, and all your mates that are working normal jobs, but think 2, 3, 4 years down the line.
Yeah.
You'll be earning a lot more, having a significantly comfortable lifestyle. They might have gone up the pay structure a little bit, but they're still in the same way of living. You are in like a fluid movement. So I think it's better because your reward is the same as how much you put in.
Yeah. That maybe the best financial advice isn't so much as financial, but looking at it as a growth perspective within yourself.
What can you, like, you go to someone and they say, well, I can't pay you, I can't afford to pay you. Think what that person could teach you in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
As long as you can feed yourself, you put in a bit of money and you're able to eat and you're not hungry. Because if you're hungry, go and feed yourself first.
Yeah.
Feed yourself, but then go to the person with the higher knowledge. Go and find out what they can teach you. Get as much off you as you can, and either incorporate that self into yourself, throw it aside, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But at least you know about it.
Yeah.
And you can make a decision on it.
It reminds me of there's a couple passages in the Bible that talks about the birds don't even worry about what they're gonna eat. Like, they just go and do bird things. Yeah. Essentially, that's a paraphrase.
I'm trying to do Farrier things and see what
happens. Go do Farrier things, right?
See what happens.
Do you have a tattoo? Anything
no,
like
I don't
that?
have a tattoo, no.
Are you going after that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, I've got plenty of burn tattoos, so that'll take me.
Scars.
Yeah.
Chicks dig it.
Yeah.
What's the best way you recenter yourself when everything's chaotic in life? What do you do to find...
when shit hits the fan, I go have 10 minutes of chaos, and then I have a breath, and then I just structure it and go at it. I mean, you can go have your tantrum. Shit hits the fan. It doesn't matter how you get knocked down. It matters on what you're going to do next. Absolutely. Like, even if it's just get to work and turn up. Yeah. Just fucking turn up and be there.
Don't say no.
No.
Just
say yes.
Yeah.
Well, not all the time, but sometimes there are borders. But
yeah, absolutely. Within means, right?
Yeah. I mean, growth isn't comfortable. So
it's a good way to look at it. You have a morning routine?
I wake up and get out of bed.
Yep. I like when you're supposed to be up.
Yeah.
How much work you have to get done that day? Just go.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you give back, or how do you want to give back in this life?
I'd like to eventually have some apprentices. Maybe build something bigger to encourage more growth within people.
Absolutely.
Because if you can't find a community, why not make one?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest key to a real joyful life is having community.
Yeah.
And also being humble enough to come to your community and say, this is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah, well,
like, how can
I know for a fact I know nothing.
Yeah.
Compared to the senior bloke that's shot for 30 years.
Sure.
You know,
even about life.
Yeah.
You know, getting ready to get married, things of that nature.
Let's not go anywhere near that.
Not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You have a favorite joke or a comedian?
No, nothing appropriate.
Nothing funny?
Nothing appropriate.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. What's the most important thing you want to leave the world with?
Oh, I don't know. Something positive. I've not thought that deep into myself yet, to be honest. Maybe I'll be able to build a big community of farriers at some point.
Yeah.
I might not. I might go down 10 years down the line and go, fuck it, I'm going to go to be a bus driver. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just see what happens.
I think it'd be awesome to have a group of farriers or something as a group where you're able to feed in the theory bits, bring in clinicians, and create that community. Even though there's things like the AFA and the BFBA, if you can have, and the local associations. I don't know if you guys have local chapters or not.
We do. We have our local area BFBA associations. Some are more active than others, but I think that's just down to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. But something where you're able to bring in more of a private clinic type and just iron sharp.
One of my best learning things was when I went with Matt Reynolds' apprentice, Alistair. He's turned into one of my best mates.
Yeah.
When I'm in England, not 2 days goes by with not talking, even just chatting shit or talking about a horse or something. Yeah. That started from him coming to the forge at my boss's place and then me going to his forge, you know? And it just built a friendship. You know, we're both in the same sticks. He was 6 months ahead of me. And you'd be surprised by not even being taught by the best in the world, just by the peers, how much you learn from your peers. If you can surround yourself with like-minded people, you hear that every day.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with like-minded people, you'll be surprised how up the skill set you up yourself, because you don't want to be the dick in the corner on your own.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling.
Well, you know, you talk about like-minded people. How would you say someone's a bad apple? And you're
bad apple.
How do you deal with a bad apple in that way?
Just encourage them to do better and give them rope to work. If they'll either give them rope, they'll either use it to climb up or they'll hang themselves.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if they want to hang themselves, let them hang themselves. But if they want to stop it, let them come up.
Yeah.
Not let them trample all over you and stuff like that. Just encourage them.
Yeah. And you've effectively done the best that you can to bring people up too.
Well, try.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You might overstimulate them and it goes straight over their heads, but at least they'll realise there's more to it than meets the eye. And I mean, I've had younger apprentices educate me on things, but they've practiced that thing 1,000 times more than I've practiced it.
Yeah.
Even as a qualified person, like someone probably has done something more than you in one way, in a different angle, that can teach you something.
Yeah. Brilliant, lad.
Well, you keep trying.
It's not
getting any better.
One day, maybe.
Yeah. Decent,
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for being on.
Good.
And we'll see you down the way.